you don't have to be brilliant to have a decent job in the corporate sector and earn a decent salary. You might not make your millions, but yeah, you earn a decent salary. You're happily sort of having a family. Your kids are happy. You can send them to decent school. All that is possible with
Yes.
a reasonable job in the corporate sector, which is not the case. Definitely not then, and probably not even now. You have to be uniquely brilliant and talented and super lucky to crack it in the art, and which is why I have huge respect for all the artists who are doing extremely well.
So I think the sense I'm getting is that, obviously the corporate career was the logical, you couldn't really have pursued your art as a career because it probably wouldn't have.
It is not even in consideration because, frankly, and not even then, even now,
Yes.
making a mark in the professional, in the art space and earning a living, getting food on the table is
Yes.
extremely difficult when you compare that to the corporate world.
Absolutely. And I think what I wanted to maybe touch upon is the fact that in your corporate career, you travel to so many different countries, cities, you probably were experiencing different cultural norms and different ways in which people worked, etc. What did you what was your learning from that? Did it influence your way of living in any way?
Look, it's a blessing or an opportunity, really, if you have a chance to work in multiple geographies and multiple countries. I mean, it's very different in terms of how do you read messages, how do you sort of communicate.
Absolutely.
Particularly the Brits, what is said might not necessarily be, verbally said, but you have to read between the lines, take subtle hints.
Yeah.
With Americans, maybe it's more direct. But whatever. Again, none of these are generalizing. But the fact is, when you deal with multiple cultures, multiple geographies, it truly enhances your, I guess, your professional skills. And that's what sometimes frustrates me a lot when people, and maybe they have their own reasons, but people are reluctant to move.
Gosh, yes, I can totally imagine because you're in your comfort zone and everything is familiar. You
Yeah.
know who your people are, and then to go into a different place, you got to start again.
My view, and it is my personal view, is the way you get ahead, in any aspect of what you do, is an opportunity presenting itself and your ability to take that opportunity. Then, of course, luck plays a part in terms of how well you do and all of that. But this is just one example. But every other opportunity I took, be it a different role, or be it a different thing, and it has been a plunge, frankly, where I got into a space where I did not know much about, but hey, why not?
But I sort of I see your, point of view there, that when you say yes to something and you allow yourself to learn, you do find a way to deal with it. And it's actually really interesting. It's quite a different experience. And so has that been sort of your motto pretty much through life?
Yeah, it has been, and luckily for me, in most occasions I've succeeded. There have been cases where I failed. I mean, that's natural. But the successes have been more than the failure. So that
Yes.
has been pretty good. Luck also, I think, plays a part. When you take a plunge, I think, well, my view is, look, when you go for something, it's a cliche saying the whole world, I guess, conspires to make sure that you succeed kind of thing, So that's the
Absolutely.
view.
Yeah, I so believe in that, that it's kind of the energy you put into whatever
Yeah.
you're doing.
And then eventually I called it quits a year and a half back. And now I'm full time into music. But Fusion Copy has now become much more than just a YouTube channel. We have now a full fledged band. We produce original music, not just Carnatic fusion. And we have had about 20 different concerts in different cities in India.
Amazing.
And we are doing, and the audience response, ranging from 25-year-olds to 85-year-olds, has universally been very good. So I'm very happy, and I'm at my creative best. We have a great team of extremely talented musicians. All of them are youngsters, so the band is doing well, and it's like eclectic fusion, Sufi kind of music, for lack of a better word.
I love that. And of course, from there, you have also segued into acting. So talk us through that. How did that come up?
That's another story altogether. But anyway, that's just a passion, or that is just a hobby. So the reason I got into acting was, look, I said, look, I have a lot of free time, and micro dramas are something which has now started picking up quite a bit. For those who don't know what it is, it's typically 40 to 45 episodes. Each episode is 1 minute to a minute and a half, complete in itself. It's all for the oriented for the smartphone. And this channel, which I'm for which I'm acting, I've got more than 40 million subscribers.
Wow.
And some of the micro dramas I've acted in have got really, already got more than a million views, 10 million views in one case. It's phenomenal. And
Yes.
I'm loving it. And the money is nothing, but it's not for the money, it's just for the pleasure. And I'm hoping maybe eventually someone might notice me and I might get. You see, the world is, is an oyster, right? Just go for it. What a,
Absolutely. And you have to kind of put yourself out there and not
yes,
worry too much about, how's this particular venture going to turn out. You just got to go with the flow, right? That's
space,
brilliant. You spend the first 50 plus years, focusing on the grunt work, but you made that
that is a
enjoyable,
safe thing to
didn't
do.
you?
Frankly, why I did the safe thing. But if you're a realist, and if you think, which I think most of us are,
Yes.
if you're a realist and say, look, I am talented and I want to pursue my passion, but I am also realist that I may not be able to gainfully be employed and make my, my financial needs. Then I think taking a safer approach is always good. I think if you can balance both, then nothing like it.
And that's absolutely, I think the message I feel people should take away is that it's never about this or that.
Yeah, yeah,
You can have this and that. And I think to your point, even though maybe the corporate work you did wasn't necessarily where your heart completely was, but you were allowing your heart an outlet. You would perform at parties, and I genuinely believe that your Fusion Copy would not have taken off the way it did if people didn't already know the talent you had. And I think that's a mistake that some people do make is they think, oh my God, I'm in a corporate job now, so I can't do my music at all. I'm not going to share it with the world because after all, it's not paying me for it. Disconnecting your art with the need for it to pay for itself is a
yeah.
key, I feel, to really enjoying it, isn't it?
It's definitely it's worked for me,
Yes.
and it's a safer approach, I think, and can work for a lot of people out there without having to put everything at risk and then say it's either this or that. So I think the trick is, can you get your walkaway power earlier? So the faster you get your walkaway power, the faster you can pursue your passion. Is what I think. All of us go through good times, bad times. Many of us go through tough times, but it's how you handle, how you can come out of the downs is what will define you. And the only way to do it is to be positive. There's no other solution.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ajit. Really good to have you. And I wish you all the best. And I hope you do get to 1.3 million subscribers. I'm sure that's you've just manifested it here. Just put it out there, and I'm sure it'll happen in due course. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.